Hello, I'm Dawn Elsom. I'm here at C&C Kitchens today. I'm going to show you how to make a very simple bread using a bread mix. Now, you can buy lots of different bread mixes from the supermarket. I've got just a few here to show you. You can buy brown bread mixes, white. You can also buy some flavoured ones. So I'm going to use the cheddar cheese and onion bread mix, and I'm going to show you how to do a tear and share bread using these, and it's a mozzarella and caramelised red onion. It's very simple with these bread mixes simply because you only have to prove once, so they're not so time consuming having to do that 2 proofs. You still have to knead them for about 5 minutes. I'm going to do a mixer to do that, so it's a bit easier, and then I'm going to show you how to do the tear and share, and then we prove it just once and you get a lovely loaf of bread. And again, making your own bread is absolutely amazing. It smells gorgeous, and this one is a very simple, easy one to do. So what I've got, first of all, I've added my bread mix into my bowl, and it's about 320 ml of lukewarm water. And using a flat knife, just mix all the water in initially. Now, you could do this straight into the mixer if you wanted to, so that you can do it straight in the mixer and then knead it straight away, so you're not dirty in another bowl. And you can, if you haven't got a mixer, a tabletop mixer or a hand mixer with a dough hook on it, you could actually knead it by hand if you wish. It just needs a little bit more elbow grease just to knead everything in. So the water goes in there and mix that all in. At this point, it's quite a good idea to then get your hands in, and then it helps to bring all the dough together. Nice and moist, and then if it's a little bit wet, which this one is, you might want to add a little bit of flour once it's been kneaded. But this smells lovely. I can smell the cheese and onion coming out of it already. So at this stage now, when it's all mixed together, I need to add that to my mixer stand, and then knead that for about 5 minutes. And then I'll come back and show you, once it's been kneaded for 5 minutes, how to actually shape it into your tear and share bread. So my tear and share bread has been kneaded. As you can see here, I've got a nice smooth dough. And the dough now needs to be cut into 8 so that I can make my little tear and share pieces stuffed with caramelised onion chutney, just a shop bought one. Obviously you can make your own, some Parmesan sprinkled on the top, and some mozzarella stuffed into the middle. So to get the dough out of the bowl, it's easier to oil your hands, and if you oil your hands a little bit, then the dough doesn't stick to them, and that's just a really handy little tip. So the dough's lovely and smooth now, and it's so great that you've only got to prove this once. So you can shape the dough when you're using the bread mixes, and you can pop that into the tin and just prove it the once. So each piece I'm cutting into 4, and I'm going to cut the gain, so I've got 8 pieces for my tear and share bread. So 8 pieces to stuff with some filling. There we go. Now, if you didn't want this cheese and onion flavour, you can use the wholemeal bread mix, or you can use a white bread mix. Have a little bit of flour because it does get a little bit sticky, and flour your surface. Or oil your hands, and then it will stop from sticking. Now, each little ball for your tear and share, you need to make into a triangle shape. You don't need a rolling pin because the bread sort of stretches. So a very rough triangle shape. And then I'm going to pop a little bit of onion chutney into the rectangle shape, a little bit of mozzarella, and then I'm going to fold the rectangle in half and sort of semi-seal it, as you can see there, so the filling doesn't come out. And then I'm going to stretch it and kind of knot it into a very loose knot shape. And then I'm going to place it into I'm just going to show you. It's a springform tin. One of those tins you can use for cheesecakes or bread, and I'm going to just place my tear and share knots all the way around the outside of my springform tin. Now, the springform tin, I put some greased baking parchment already on the base and just clipped it in and oiled it. It's a good little tip to do that, because then you can just lift the paper up at the end when the bread's been baked. So they should all fit down. It's a 20 centimetre springform tin. So I'm just going to pop those out of the way so you can see that. And then do the same with all the rest of the 7. So I'm just going to show you one more. And place the mozzarella into the centre, a little bit of caramelised onion, and then as the first one, fold over into a nice triangle shape, and then stretch the dough and tie it in a very loose knot, and then place it again. And I'll show you when this is finished, and we're just going to pop them all the way around to the outside with all the rest of the knots, and then they're going to go into the oven to prove, or warming drawer, or again in an airing cupboard, so that they rise before you bake them. So my 8 knots of dough are in my loose base springform tin, and I've got 7 around the outside, 1 in the middle, quite close together, because now they need to rise and to prove. So I need to prove them for half an hour in a steam or a warming drawer, or for an hour, hour and a half in a warm kitchen or an airing cupboard, and then they need to bake. So I'm going to show you the proving, and then we'll bake them off. So my tear and share bread has just finished proving. As you can see, it's actually risen to the height of the springform tin. That's exactly where you'd like it to be. And it's ready to now be baked. Really hot oven, 200 to 220 degrees for about 20-25 minutes until it's lovely and golden brown. Just before I pop it into the oven, I just want to sprinkle some Parmesan over the top. And this sticks on nicely, just to help to give it a really nice crisp crust as well. And then I'll pop this into the oven, and then we'll have a look at it when it's done. If you want to make my lovely recipes, they're in the description below. And don't forget, if you do like them, please like and subscribe. So this is my caramelised onion and mozzarella tear and share bread. As you can see, it's lovely and golden brown. You can just pull it apart and share it, and a nice crisp golden crust.